Hello Wildcats, this is Miss Ivy here for Monday's Marvelous Book Talk. April is National Poetry Month. I'm going to share with you a couple of ways that we have access to different poetry in our library. So over here in the 800 section, that is where you will find our poetry section. But there are all sorts of different types of poetry. So what you may be familiar with is just a collection of poetry. So for example, any of our Shel Silverstein books. These are going to be where each poem on each page is a different story and a different topic. None of these really connect together. Okay, so that's one type of poetry. Also over here in the 800 section, we will have things like this. This is by Jacqueline Woodson, and it's called Brown Girl Dreaming. This is a collection of poetry, but they all have to do with her life and her growing up during the Civil Rights Movement in the 1960s. So while each one is a different poem, when you add them all together, it is still a description about her life, and so they are tied together in some way. Then in the fiction section, we have what you call a novel in verse. And we have tons of these. So in Destiny, if you just search in the top novel in verse, then these will come up. So these are actually a fiction book, but when you look at it, it is written like poetry. So these have main characters. You could fill out a plot diagram. They have a storyline, but it's a lot less words on the page. So maybe if you're not a big reader or you just want to try something different, then a novel would be for you. So we have lots of different ways that you can experience National Poetry Month, whether it is the novel in verse, the collection of poetry about a specific person and their life, or just a random collection of poetry like Shel Silverstein's books. So check it out. This is Miss Ivy coming at you from your Wayside Library.